Happy Friday, Plymouth. It's that time of the week coming to you, and the sun is starting to pop up after we've had quite a rainy, kind of yucky morning, but we're supposed to have a beautiful weekend. So make this update really quick. I had an opportunity to go to a few caucuses this week. I'm a member of the Food System Caucus, and that was virtual, and we had an opportunity to hear about how everything happening at the federal level is potentially going to impact or will impact SNAP and other programs that many members and our most vulnerable members of the Commonwealth rely on. We then attended the UK caucus kickoff on Wednesday, where we were invited the Consul Generals from the British Consul General's home, right down the street from the State House on Wednesday to talk a little bit about the caucus, what it'll look like. I can only say for a short period of time. We had another event later that evening. And then actually on Monday I was there and had an opportunity to meet some members of Parliament and British members of Parliament who had been, I think, on stateside for about 3 weeks, I think they said. They started in DC, they did some shadowing in DC of congressmen and women, and then they went to their districts for a weekend, and then they came up to Boston and they were going to the State House the next day, but it was a great opportunity to get to talk with them about their experiences, and many of them were new like myself, so that was also interesting, or in their first term. We also had Secretary Augustus come from the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities, who came to the Plymouth Housing Authority. We had an opportunity to talk about how everything is going, looking forward in the future, the studies that they've been doing, what's happening, their issues, their population, all that. And also to address some concerns you've been hearing about some of the air conditioning or lack thereof in some of the units, and so that we addressed that. The Secretary's team also followed up to make sure that they have the resources they need, and I know there are a member of our select board who's been very generous, in our community that's been very generous, to see if there's any additional funding that needed to be done to make sure that all those who need an air conditioning unit, considering our very hot summer we've having, will get one. So we discussed that. Had an opportunity to attend the first LGBTQ plus Youth Day. It was very interesting. It was wonderful to have. Love having youth. We all know that. Come and advocate, because I think it's so important for their voice to be heard, and so often it's not. So that was really great. We had session on both Wednesday and Thursday, where we passed a human trafficking legislation asking for additional training for hospitality workers so that they can identify human trafficking. Additional funding for the FY26 budget, where there's money in there for bar advocates, veterans, healthcare, transitional assistant benefits, so much in that, which is going to be helpful. We codified the SHIELD Act, providing more protection for reproductive care and gender-affirming care for patients. And then we also Chapter 90 funding, which we talked about before. So it was a busy week. We got a lot accomplished, and next week we have the National Conference of State Legislators coming to Boston, so that'll be really interesting and exciting. I can't wait to see and learn and meet other legislators from around the country. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a great day, and I look forward to seeing you all around the district at some point. Bye.